down here.
22. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Green, triple C. Boys, hot. Mike, 48, Mike, 48. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board, and a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
That's pulled in at the 32. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ready? Black, 22. Boys, head up. Let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
Ready. Blue lady. He's not.
Now Winston. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a fourth down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Buccaneer first, Winston to Brate.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Space to run past the 20. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's James. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play's going and being able to make a play on the football.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Throwing, Winston. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a pickup of 7, and just like that, it's third down. Jameis to throw it. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Play action. Garoppolo. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Garçon with his first grab. Good enough for a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Complete to the right. This is Garçon. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Green, triple C. Boys that up. Boys up.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. Wide. Get wide. Boys up.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Boys that up. Let's go.
2nd down, Winston. Evans has it left side. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Ready. Blue ready. Check 99. Boys up. Boys up.
And they'll go on the ground. And now running right through it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout.
Get there. Woo, baby. Get him, boy. Let's go. We got this. Ready. White 25. Even. Boys hot. White 25 hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Ready. White 25. Boys up.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's James. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mitch Unrein, never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Hey. Four down. Come on, fellas, here we go. Coming, double up. Get hot. 58, 58, 6.
Snap comes at 1. Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And they'll run it here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 39. And this one is right through. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Bucs on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z.
And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. On first down, Garoppolo. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Let's go now.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
4 down. Check. Ready to go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. This is fielded at the 7. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ron Parker. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Charlie, black 22. Hot. Hey, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
Following the interception, Winston. That's complete right around the 8. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Hot. Hot.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down, 4 down. Boys, head up. 56. Right, 56, right there. Watch the ball, Hot.
Winston to throw it this time. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's go now. Ready. Black 22.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Ready. Blue ready. Blaze that up. Blaze that up.
And they'll go on the ground. Shifts by him at the 25. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Four down, check, four down. Ready? Blue ready. 56 to Mike. Where's that?
And they'll run it here. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Ready? Blue ready. Four down. Watch 38. Watch 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's Beathard to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Get Mike. Get Mike.
To throw is Beathard. Dumping it off for Johnson. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
58, right over there. Yeah.
Now Beathard. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. So if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready. Back.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in. Where's that?
On 3rd down. It's Wilson, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
11. Hey, we got 4. 21.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Screen play, Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
11.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Wait. 11.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And this is caught by Curse. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Go ahead. 13. 11.
Garoppolo again. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
58 to Mike. They gonna need some therapy after this.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gold with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Winston here to throw. Flush to his right. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So second in inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker.
Ready. Blue ready. Hey, 5 on the kick. 5 on the kick. Switch.
Now Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Finding some room at midfield. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game, because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. 59, check. 59.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Tampa Bay, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.
it.